All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. As always, this is the author Andrew Snorton. This is our edition of All About the Authors. This is our roundtable discussion where I get a chance to be connected with some great authors doing great things, but it all starts at the top. And, after God, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, the host, celebrity source with the most is she brings it all the time. Ty, how you doing this afternoon?
I am super duper blessed. I'm super excited to be with you guys. And, these days it's just good to be able to breathe and be alive. So I have no complaints today.
Well, I tell you what, you said a lot right there, and definitely for everybody that's out and about, we want you in this now normal, be as safe as possible. We're just gonna keep it that simple. Don't be paranoid, but don't be foolish either. So, Ty, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and have you set the tone for the day, give a little bit of background about who you are, the work that you've done as an author, and then once we have our first author, Peter Parker, who's getting ready to get set, we're going to have you pivot to him. So, Ty, it's all yours.
Again, everyone, Teresa Ty, I am always just a delight. It's just delightful to spend this time with all the new authors and the man of the hour of the day, author Snorton. Always a pleasure to meet some great authors, some great people, and thank you all for joining as well. I am Teresa Ty, and I'm known for many different things, and I am just so blessed to have author as one of my titles under my umbrella. I am celebrity host Teresa Ty. I've hosted events all over the country, all over the world, internationally. All glory to God. And I am an author of 2 books. One, Follow the Fire, that I wrote myself, and a partnership with some other amazing ladies that you can also find on Amazon. My latest, I have 12 journals, 12 journals, and I just released a recent journal called Matters of the Mind, and it's a self-care journal right here. It's really dope, and I released this in the month of May of this year during Mental Health Month. I don't know if you guys know, but I recently found out that we have Minority Mental Health Month is in the month of July. So again, I believe that Mental Health Month is every month. We're going through a lot of things, especially with this pandemic, a lot of injustice, and just a lot of stuff going on in the world, just a lot of stuff. And it's really, really, really important to keep our mind right. So a man thinketh, so is he. So if we can, when we lose our mind, I always think about an experience when I was in high school and I had a friend that was in a motorcycle accident. And I remember him looking very well and very whole. And I remember the doctor coming and saying that he was brain dead, and I couldn't really, understand the concept of that, because he looked like he was well, that he could just wake up. And it just, when I reflect back to that all the time, I think about how important the mind is, the brain, and how it controls everything that we do. And when our mind is not right and we're not feeling whole, then we make very poor decisions that in return give us some sometimes very, very, very detrimental results and things that we have to deal with because of the decisions that we make. So it's so important to make sure that our mind is right, not just in May and not just in July, but every day. So this is near and dear to me personally, because if you have my book, if you don't, make sure you snatch it, Follow the Fire. It talks about from childhood to adulthood, going through struggles and challenges, and how with the help of my faith, I'm a very spiritual person, and you hear me talk about God a lot because that's why I'm here today. I was able to overcome a lot of challenges, ADHD, dyslexia, a place where I always say I was probably most likely not to succeed, but God allowed me to do things I could only not even imagine, and he's not done with me yet. But that book talks about just some of the challenges that I've had, and then I have journals too. I have a journal to go with one of the books in particular, Follow the Fire, and then I have some Greek-inspired journals, and then my recent journal, Matters of the Mind. And I just believe in the whole concept of writing a vision and making it plain. Whichever journal that you choose to pick out of the 12, it's about writing the vision and making it plain. And again, that's something that I've snatched from the Word, and it just coincides with what I believe in. And I'm super excited to have the authors that we have, because that's exactly what they did. They took something in the mind and they wrote it down, and it became a book, just like most of us, right? So that's why it's so important to write. Writing is a healer. It tells your story, even if you never publish it. It's still a documented story. It's written. It tells your story, and that's why it's so important. And I have a passion for journals, because it's just it does so many things for the human mind. And from the mind, whatever we think, that's what comes out of our mouth. And so we know, again, with the Word, that whatever we speak is what's destined to happen for us. So it's so important that we think the right thing. So, because whatever we think is what we're going to say, and whatever we say, we're going to see. And so all of that just comes together and makes a big pot of gumbo. So again, I'm just excited to be here. Yes, I am from Louisiana, and I am still here. I've been trying to get back to Atlanta. It will be a minute, because now I'm doing some other things, but I love people, and I love to see people succeed. Anything that I could do to help them move to the next level, that's just, for me, that's near and dear to my heart. I'm very passionate about purpose and people. And so, and I'm really excited to talk to Peter Parker. Yes,
Yeah.
while we're talking about people, passion, people, and Peter Parker.
Definitely. Peter Parker is one of the authors that's going to be joining us, and it looks like, and we all understand, connection issues. So what we're going to do is, if it's all right, Ty, I'm going to go ahead and pivot to our author that's already on board. This is a gentleman who, when we say story, everyone has a story to tell. I was very fortunate to have him as one of my guests for my full-length television show, The Conversation Corner, back in December, right in that time between Christmas and New Year's. And I tell you what, Corey right here, this brother right here, I tell you what, when you talk about a purpose and being ordered in your steps and being a good steward, this really does speak to him. So, Corey, it is good to have you on board. Let people know who you are and where you're based out of.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here as well, man. I'm Corey McKinney, based out of Birmingham, Alabama. I'm the author of my book, Coach Daryl's Coach. Also, I'm a speaker that deals with the subject on peer pressure, gun violence, and bullying. I'm also a mentor and a former foster parent as well. And I'm just glad to be here with you guys today.
Well, I tell you what, Corey, and stewardship just keeps ringing out when I listen to what you said. Foster parent, mentor, speaker, things along those lines. Corey, walk through with us. When did you decide to, all these stories, all these life experiences, when did you decide to pivot to putting it together in book form?
Well, I've been wanting to write the book for years, and I kind of contemplated, how we do, we put stuff off and start and stop, and I did that for a while, and I finally kind of got on board a couple of years ago and hunkered down and said that I was going to get it done no matter what it took, and I started writing the book. I was fortunate enough to go to Steve Harvey's Black Success Conference a couple of years ago. And that gave me a little bit extra motivation, being around the people who were doing things and writing books and being successful. And that kind of helped push me along to get it going. So it was a couple of years ago when I started to get everything going with the book and everything.
Okay, now with the title, walk through with our viewers, I'll say the inspiration behind the title of the book.
Yeah, the book's called Coach Daryl's Coach. And what it is my youth football team, my coach name was Coach Daryl. Our team name was Crestwood Coach. So that's where the title Coach Daryl's Coach came from. And Coach Daryl was a very special guy. He was a guy that came into various inner city areas here in Birmingham, Alabama. Took a lot of guys from different walks of life, put us all together, and taught us a lot about, discipline and hard work and character and the things that makes you be successful. So from the previous year before he came, they won like 2 games total. And the first year that we played with Coach, we went undefeated, won all of the games plus the championship. So this book is basically an outline of the time that we spent playing for Coach. We played 6 years for him, and we were 89-1 over those 6 years. We only lost 1 game.
Wow. Do me a favor, because anyone that's competed at something knows, hey, it's easier said than done. What was that record during a 6-year period? One more time.
It was 89-1.
Wow.
89-1, and that 1 game was a championship game that we lost as well. So it really teaches our youth, especially, and even adults, how to be successful. You have to work hard for things. You have to be disciplined to get things done, and that's what we were taught on a daily basis. And also, from an adult standpoint, it really shows the impact that all of us can make when we do go that extra mile for others.
You made some good points there, because it sounds like a lot of it is youth oriented and looking at those themes of teamwork and being able to pay attention, dedicated to your craft, work ethic, all those types of things. But you made a good point in regards to adults. It's a reminder these are the things we have to reinforce to our young people. In other words, you're leading by example, but you're modeling what it's supposed to look like.
Right, exactly.
Let me ask you this. What would you say during that 6-year stretch? What would you say was, and we all have hurdles to clear, what would you say was the most difficult hurdle for you to clear in order to get everybody on the same page?
Well, we all came from different neighborhoods and different areas. So that was really tough, because gangs were real prevalent back then. So you had all types of different gangs, people coming from different neighborhoods, and just kind of get on the same page. So that was difficult for him to try to get all of us to buy into the same goal and to be champions, So that was the biggest part. And then once we actually did it, another thing that was tough was to keep it going. Once you start to be successful at something, everybody kind of don't like it. So you start to get the claps and the cheers kind of get lower and lower and lower each time that you win, because people get tired of you winning. People get tired of you being successful, and you get a lot of haters out there. So, besides your team and your family, everybody hates you now for the first couple of years. So, you have to just stay focused and keep working hard. And despite what people were saying, just try to stay true to who we were. And we were able to get that done.
So in other words, what you're saying is, and this is a term that I know Ty and I have used a lot of times, you're saying that sometimes you have to filter out the noise and stay focused on the goal. Is that kind of one of the themes that you would say was coming out?
Yeah, exactly. You had to, because everybody tells you how good you are once you do something right the first time. So it's easy to get complacent and to kind of, hey, I'm going to win. And, even our coach used to tell us all the time, football has a funny bounce to it. If it bounces the wrong way and we lose, I want you guys to be good sports and go say good game. And we never we never thought that was going to happen. So even us, sometimes we took it for granted. So that was one thing that we had to get over. And once we did lose that one time, it was devastating. It was devastating. I can still remember that game right now, and that was 30 years ago. So, but it taught us a lesson about, hey, you can't let the outside noise get to you. You have to stay focused on what you do. And that applies even now as adults. When you're working or whatever you're trying to be successful at, no matter what it is, you have to stay disciplined. You have to work hard, and if you want to continue to be successful.
I tell you what, you hit a lot of themes on there, Ty. I know you, even though we go back and forth. I know you got some things you want to ask, so I'm just gonna kind of move out the way, and I'm gonna flip it over to Ty, because I know she's got some things she's gonna drop on you, Corey. Be ready.
Come on with it.
Well, I'm just listening to the story, and I could identify with some of the things that he was saying, and just starting off, when you're attempting to do anything, you'll have the people that's cheering you along, and it's funny because I think sometimes unconsciously, and you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. again, this is the mind of Teresa Ty. Sometimes you feel like, people, they're cheering you along. You got some real passionate people that's cheering you along, and then you got some people that's pretending in case you make it that they're cheering you along, but they don't really expect for you to actually get to the finish line, right?
Right, exactly.
So when you were reflecting back on the feeling that you've when you said that, the more you were winning, the claps became less, and the noise became the cheering became a little less, the more you were winning. I understand that so so much. Like, I deal with that daily. Tell me how that made you feel and what kept you motivated.
Well, a lot of times Coach gave us a lot of good advice, and he kind of pre-warned us about things like that. He kind of gave us the heads up about stuff that, everybody's not going to like it when you win. So we kind of had a little heads up. We were still surprised by it, being young. But, he kind of told us a lot about, how people are in general. Like, we had a lot of things that went on that happened to us. Like, once we won 2 years in a row, we went on the trip, and I got it in the book as well. When we got back from a trip, somebody had burned down all of our equipment, all of our football shoulder pads, helmets, equipment, and just out of spite, I guess, I don't know, but we got back and everything was up in flames, so we had to go out and start all over and ask people for donations and try to get everything back. So it's just, he taught us a lot about how people are, so, that was one of the things that kind of got us through.
So that's always great to, I think, setting expectations, no matter what it is in life, makes things a little more clearer for you. And you're not surprised about, I guess the reaction or the result when you know the expectation. So that was a good point, and that was a great coach for him to set those expectations to let you know, hey, if we do this like we're supposed to do, we're gonna have some haters. And it's funny that you use the word hater. I was looking at something this morning that say, your circle should be successful, and they'll never think you're bragging. And I think that's so true, that when you are around successful people, they can continue to cheer you on because they know how it feels. They understand the whole process of this thing. You don't accidentally be successful. It takes a lot of late nights, early mornings, a lot of stumbles, a lot of bruised knees and bloody noses. I mean, it's a lot that comes with being successful. And when you're truly around a person who started from the ground as you did, right? They understand that. And so there is no animosity or no hate, because they like, I know how they feel. Let me pull you up. Because I might need you to pull me up, you know what I'm saying? And I think, again, that's the relationship that Arthur Thornton and I have. We both, I don't think we even think about success as much as we think about just, trying to make the impact or whatever. And so there is never, finding a circle where, and we're so glad that you're a part of our circle, this circle of authors and bringing in good people. And I say this all the time, that this is like a support group, if you will, for authors. People who you may know, you may not know, but we truly have a story because we've written it, right? And there's still so many other things inside of us. But when you share that, and I'm listening to you, and I'm listening to the story, and I'm listening to the passion, that is so important. And I always say, you need people. You need people. You don't need those people, and those are the people who are not really genuine. But you still need people in this world, to help keep you motivated in a sense. And you don't need a whole crew, maybe one or two, right? But you do need that. It's a part of our human makeup, right? To be motivated and having something to look, forward to, or feeling that you're you know what I'm saying, that you've made a difference in someone's life in your actions and your choices. So I just want to commend you on that and sharing that, because I think people need to hear that. I think sometimes we try to pretend that it's not. My pastor say it's when the kids say hating, he was like, hating is real.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but it's real.
It is. And Coach was, he was like a father figure to a lot of us, because a lot of those guys on the team, dads wasn't around. So, you know, he taught us a lot. We used to spend the night over his house. All that we play, and actually we had a basketball team and baseball team outside of the football team. You know, so we spent the night at his house. We used to go on camping trips. We used to go over to Six Flags there in Georgia. We used to go to the beaches. So it was a lot more than just football. It was really about life, you know, teaching us how to be about life. And that may be one of the things that kind of got me into doing mentoring and doing fostering and helping other kids out, because I saw, you know, firsthand what the impact can be when you do go the extra mile to help others.
I don't know your coach, but I would say that's probably what it was. Just hearing your story. It's always that person who, you know, and I talk about that in my book. I think we all drew in his book. I think everyone has that person or more than one throughout, you know, course of life that, you know, just put that fire, you know, ignited that fire inside of you. And you, and the things that they added, the value that they added to your life was able to thrust you to a different place than where you would have been, you know, considering your upbringing or your neighborhood. You know, that motivation and that time that they put into you caused you to be a different person and experience things that you may have not experienced without them being in your life. So I think that's so important, because I'm an impact person, and I'm about value systems and things of that nature. I don't believe in doing things just to be doing it without it being able to have some type of positive result, not just for me, but for other people. And it seems like that's what the coach did for you, and that's what you're doing for us and for the people that that have the pleasure of coming in contact with you. So I just want to say thank you for that, for being an outstanding black man in our community. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definite thanks. So it looks like we got Pete on. So before we pivot to Peter, and we're going to do this in the recap time too, Corey, could you let people know the best ways to stay connected with you and remind people of the title of your book and where they can get a copy?
Yeah, you can reach me on Facebook and Instagram at Corey McKinney. Also, Go4Two, GOFOR number 2. I'm on both of those sites on Instagram and Facebook. My website is www.go4two.net. That's GOFOR number 2.net. And my books are actually on my website, and they're also on Amazon as well.
Well, Corey, I tell you what, like I said, when we got a chance to sit down in December, you were doing awesome work then. You're still doing awesome work. Of course, you know you got to stick around for the group recap.
Yes,
and
sir.
I tell you what, we all know how technology can be. I know. So before I pass it off to Ty, I want to make sure that we've got our friendly neighborhood author, Peter Parker, in the building. Now, of course, you know you big time when you go by a pen name instead of your real name. So that's all I know. Pete, can you hear us, and how you doing?
Yes, sir. I can't hear you, man. How y'all doing, man? I apologize for me being late. I was leaving one of these headed to my house, so I just pulled over so I can get on the line, man. So,
well, I tell you,
no need to apologize.
No need to apologize. Like we said, you are here. We know you are moving all over the place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this back off to Ty, because, you know, you thought I was a hard interview. This one right here, you ain't ready.
Oh, come on now. you know, I'm full of laughter and love. Hi, Mr. Peter Parker. I am super duper excited to be.
Hello, Miss.
Hi. And again, I'm just glad you're here. You know, this is our new norm now, and we're all trying to adjust, not just making sure we're, you know, on the right time, personally on the right time zone, in the right spot because of technology. Like you said, you're in your car. I understand that. We're just glad that you had a moment to spend with us. And I call this the author support, because, you know, I feel like we have so much going on right now in our head. Things that we've written down, and things that we want to say. But, you know, I want to know about, you know, your journey and deciding to become an author and choosing the name. I've been talking about Peter Parker since we jumped on. What made you decide to be an author? And 2, what made you decide to use the pen name Peter Parker?
All right, cool.
so what made me decide to be an author was my book is actually a movie script, right? But I didn't know how to format or write a movie script. So what I did was I put it in book form, for multiple reasons. For one, it was just to let individuals get familiar with the story, and then grow in love and like one character that they relate to, or multiple characters, but also to promote literacy through my mentoring program. I have a mentoring program, over 220 kids. I have a high school, middle school. I help coach other adults write books and poetry books and things of that nature. So that was the reason why I put it in book form and became an author. I literally thought it was going to go from paper to computer to a movie screen, but God works in mysterious ways. So that's how I became an author. And since then, I've written 6. So I can't put my pen down. I can't stop writing. I chose the name Peter Parker. I just can't stop writing. But I chose the name Peter Parker. Growing up, my nickname was Spider. I played basketball. So as I grew older, a lot of people didn't know my name. So I just chose Peter Parker because I'm into film and photography as well. So it kind of makes sense, the whole campaign. And plus, yeah, absolutely. And then, I went to Payne College. I learned a lot in my literature classes. And one thing that I learned was never put your name on something. Or, the way women grew up by not having an opportunity to write, they had to use other names besides their name and able to publish their works. So I just kind of took that page from what I learned in English class by not using my real name, having an artist name, and it kind of makes sense to my nickname growing up to now. So full circle.
I love it, and it makes a lot of sense. And you taught me something really great. And I'm not going to hold it against you that you have a Utah Jazz jersey on, but anyway, we're going to.
Now, it matches my shorts and my shoes. It's just coordination. That's all. That's all.
See, I'm looking at already. You just doing things that make sense. So you was just like, I'm just matching. It has nothing.
Absolutely.
So I read. So you're absolutely correct. We didn't have the same opportunity as women. Back in the day, so we had to use a pen name. And thank you for educating those who didn't know. But Peter Parker, I love the fact it makes sense for you and who you were. So it's still a part of you. You know what I'm saying? It's still you.
Ma'am.
I can connect it, and I'm excited about it because I kept telling Drew, I want to know, because he was calling you by your name, and I was like, no, I want to know Peter Parker. I want to know who Peter Parker is.
Yes, ma'am.
And I heard that this all kind of started from like dreaming. Is that correct?
Yes,
tell me a little bit about the
dreams. So I had in 2010, 2 years prior to me going to the military, I woke up in a cold sweat, right? And the idea behind the original platform was to be a music video. Again, I write treatments for music videos and what have you. And I was going to use this story as the basis to create a musical campaign, if not for myself, but for someone else in my camp. I saw a commercial about on BET about short films. The winner can win $10,000. So I turned my dream, which was a nightmare, into a book, which became a short film, which became a movie. So I had an idea, woke up in the middle of the night, sweating. I still have the original yellow notebook. You can see that in my documentary, but you still can see where the sweat dried up on the paper from where I was writing so fast because I didn't want to forget the dream. So it was kind of scary, but it's helping me stay alive right now. So yeah, all nightmares aren't bad nightmares, I promise.
Wow, that's dope. And when you think about the injustice, and when I read it and I saw the dream, like I have a dream, and I'm thinking about I'm correlating that to Martin Luther King and him being in a different generation from us, right? And him having a dream that maybe not see come to pass, because we're still struggling with that. We've made a lot of progress, but we're clearly not there yet, right? But to see a young Black man that said, I had a dream and I made this dream become a reality for me as a Black woman, a young Black woman, that makes me feel very proud, right? And to know that, like you say, you didn't stop. You had 6 books, and I know you got so much still in you that you're gonna do. Yeah. So, and I have journals. I was just talking about, I have I said 12, 13 journals. I just released a self-care journal. So I'm really big on writing.
Congratulations.
Writing a vision. Yes, I tell people all the time that writing is a healer. It tells your story. Even if you don't publish it, it's documented that it happened. And I just couldn't see you saying that at that moment I needed to write it, sweating, tears, feeling emotions, whatever it was inside my head. We talked about this prior to you coming on. You said you got to dump that thing out. That's your vision, and put it on some paper, because like you said, you were nervous that you wasn't going to remember all the details, because the details are everything, right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so, we definitely have that in common, and it's just so exciting to hear your story, and I know you got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff in you, so tell me what you got coming up. Just give us a little sneak peek. I know you're not gonna tell us everything.
I got a lot, man. Nah, it's okay, man. I don't mind, because one thing I know is, I'm here to live God's purpose. So I'm not gonna hold anything in. Even if I could say something to somebody and they can take it and do whatever they want to do with it, I treat myself like a dish rag, man. I squeeze everything out. So I don't mind sharing ideas. I can create more. God will give me more, so I'm not worried about it. But my book is gonna be a movie. It's becoming a movie. I'm filming it at CGM Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm excited about that. What else we got going on? Actually going on tour with a live band in the fall once everything kind of works out. But yeah, we'll do that to push and promote the book. Again, my mentor program. I was in the military as well, so I'll be talking to various military bases around the country with the book. What else? I coach basketball, Little League basketball, 5th and 6th grade basketball. My little niece just went to Georgia State, so I'll be, helping her navigate through college. So I'm excited about that. My little sister, she wants to get into writing a book, so I'll probably give her one of mine and just kind of help her write it, have her forward it, and put in her own words. So I'm here, man. Like, if anybody want to use me for anything, want to talk about ideas, if I can help them with whatever they got going on, I'm just here to be of service to our community.
I love that, and I like the dish rag, and I believe in that as well. That whatever vision God give you, even if you share it, can't nobody do it like you.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
They can't do it like you. You know what I'm saying? If you're giving them a nugget, you give them a nugget here and there. It's like, I look at it as a tree. If I have an apple tree and I get and you pull, how people say people jump over the fence. I know my grandfather used to say he used to have a lemon tree. They would jump over the fence instead of lemons. But guess what? Every year that tree would still produce a ton of lemons. So he never runs out of lemons. I don't care how much you pull. So that's what I thought about when you said that, is that you can take a little from me. I'm here. I'm producing for you to pull, but you can't.
Yes,
you'll never be. I'm the tree. I'm still the tree, right?
I'm rooted. I'm rooted.
So,
I'm rooted.
I like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so you're in Atlanta. You're about to do a movie. Can I just come and just like wave in the movie?
Come on, man.
Be like,
Yeah, come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, I'm in Alabama. I'm from Alabaster, Alabama. I'm in Alabama now.
Okay.
So Atlanta is, I was in Atlanta for a little while, but the guys who's actually shooting the movie at the film company, they used to shoot a lot of my music videos. So we transitioned from music to the big screen, man. So I'm elated, man. A lot of people tell me to move to Atlanta or Houston or New York. I can't just bring myself to leaving home now at a time like this. You know what I mean? I know a lot of my classmates and it's kids, and fathers can't be around and mothers can't be around for whatever reason. And I feel like I will be able to touch more of the community and it be more homegrown first, by me being at home before I outsource and go to a larger city and state where people don't know me. They just only know the book or the movie or by seeing me on Instagram. So, it's a lot of people that don't have social media that's tapped into who I am, but they're allowed to see me like, hey, I've been in situations to where they, told their children, hey, this guy's an author, opposed to a basketball player or entertainer, or this guy has a mentoring program, or he writes books and movies. So just to see that, I'm able to be touched in the community, you know what I mean? That's the most important thing to me right now. It's not about money, it's not about fame, it's not about credit. It's really about getting our hand on the younger generation and having them understand that they can see a Black doctor, they can see a Black author, they can see a Black lawyer in their community, talk to them, touch them, and get some understanding, opposed to I'm just going to a class or going to a seminar or going to a panel, and if they don't follow me on social media, then they'll only be able to see me, through sharing posts or, from a particular event. So it is greatly important for me. I'm taking it personal to stay here in Alabama, not go to a bigger city. A lot of people asked about buy my book and movie, but I refuse to sell it because I want to do it. And I feel like telling our story from our own community is way more important than any dollar amount.
Wow, that is so important. And I'm telling you, and Corey has this. I am telling you, I'm deeming you all Black. I'm Black girl magic, and y'all are Black men magic, and I'm excited. I'm saying from a Black woman, thank you all, you as well, Dr. Snorton, for just. I'm looking at you all, and I'm just feeling very proud to, just to be here with you guys. And I feel like I wish everybody could hear stories, because we need to hear that, especially during a time like this. And I'm really big. I'm from the South as well. I'm from Louisiana. I came home. I live in Atlanta now. I just moved to Atlanta, but I came home because of everything that was going on when it was safe to come home. So, my book says, my book called Follow the Fire is for ordinary people chasing extraordinary dreams, because I believe that you can live local and go global.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree.
I believe kids need to see, Black women that don't have to twerk to make it and sleep around. I don't have a problem with women doing it. I'm just saying they need to see that, right? They need to see a brother that don't have to, and everybody's done things. I'm not judging, but they need to see a brother that's not out there, slinging drugs or whatever, and say, hey, I could do something positive in the community. And even if they've done that in their past, that they see a different light. Our kids can see a different light, right?
Absolutely.
They can see that there is a different option to be successful. So I just want to say, I commend you all. I love the fact that you're in a rural place in the South, where you're again showing people that you ain't got to move, that God can move. Okay. You can stay right where you at. God can move you. And I'm a perfect example of that. I'm getting emotional because God has taken me all over the country, outside of the country, internationally, working with all types of legends. And I definitely have to, I have to brag on God, because, I'm that girl, that local girl that when I came home, I rested, because he would fly me places where people local couldn't always appreciate me. I love to tell people that there is no limit, that you don't have to move, that he'll send people for you, right? He'll send people for you. And so I just commend you both for just the impact that you've had in the community. I know my frat brother Ricky Smiley, he's in Alabama, and we talked about that. He was like, I just like coming home to Alabama. I'll go here and I'll go there, but this is home. And that's good for people to see, that people make it and still can come home. That's a big thing.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a big thing when working with Dougie Fresh. He still has his property, and he comes home to the property where he grew up. He bought like half the block before people were buying blocks, right? Buying the community. And people see him walking there where he grew up. So just keep doing what you're doing. And I just want to say that, you got me really excited. You both have me so excited. And I just want to commend you. And Corey, I'm still cheering for you. If you don't get anybody else cheering for you, I want you to remember this here. Ty is cheering for you guys.
Congrats, Corey. Let's give Corey a hand clap, man.
Hey, man. Same to you, man. Same to you. I'm actually friends with Ricky Smiley, too. We went to the same high school and everything. So.
Okay,
from
for
the
sure.
Oh, wow.
For sure. Are you from Alabama as well, Corey?
Yeah, I'm in Birmingham.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm in Alabaster, man. We should get some coffee or something on the west side, man. Let's swap out these books. See if we can put a community event together or something. Absolutely.
And that mentoring camp, I speak, man. I speak on gun violence and peer pressure and bullying to our youth.
Okay. Let's do it. So I mentor at Jackson Nolan in Ensley.
Okay, yeah, I spoke over there maybe last year with the coaches and I think it was the 9th grade athletes we spoke to over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. Yeah. Oh man, that's thank you, Arthur Snorton, for making that happen. I would have never known. We 20 minutes from each other.
Well,
We do the same, and we do the same thing. You know what I mean?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell y'all something
And thank you,
because
Ty, for even
And
bringing
you're doing
that
it
up.
too as well,
that bridge.
Andrew. You
Absolutely.
work with kids.
yeah,
Right.
This is crazy. This is
yeah,
amazing.
with the
This is
nonprofit
amazing.
Lead Foundation. I
I
mean,
got
Yeah.
chills right now. I wish I could see it, but I have chills on my body. Right now. But turn my car on and get this AC cracking back. You know what I'm saying? Let me calm down a little bit. I got my eyes are watering. Like literally. Like this is man. But go ahead, like you were saying.
yeah, I'm gonna share some with y'all because like
This is
this is
wild.
part of what it's all about. I know for me in Birmingham, when I did my first book signing in Birmingham at the Wine Loft in downtown, that was because of my co-host having done events there for the Magic City Classic. We're just putting it out there. So I did
see.
signings. No, seriously, I did my first two signings in Birmingham, 2017 and 2018. I did at the Wine Loft, and then another author who's based in Birmingham that will work on getting on recommended Bazaar the Coffee Bar, which isn't that far from there. So last summer, I did a signing there. And Corey is friends with one of my friends who's also one of my frat brothers. So I had Corey on my show in December. And then, you know, Pete, because of Dominic Brown, that's how we got linked up. And then you were just on my show this past Wednesday. And I'm like, we need to make sure we had you on today. So this is not by accident. Like, seriously, this is not by accident. And because you and Corey are doing some overlapping work, you're able to connect with his audience. He's able to connect with your audience, and y'all exponentially grow. And you right there, literally, like, you know, like they say, around the corner, up the street, basically.
Literally. I just came from Birmingham.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? You know, you said that you're doing a film. You know, that's one of my goals for my book too.
Okay, for sure. So I can help
so,
you with all of that. Like I can help you anything you need, man. Please reach out.
Yeah,
Please.
You know, I had a company look at it. I was in New York at the 2019 Book Expo at the Javits Center last year with the book.
Okay.
And I had a film company look at it for a film, and they went back and forth, and the investors actually kind of passed on it at the last minute. But he was telling me, you know, you're down in the South, the Southeast, everybody loves football. You need to keep pushing and keep trying because somebody will pick it up, you know, because the guy really wanted to do it, but the people with the money kind of they were split, and then they finally passed on it. But he told me, don't stop, keep moving, keep working, because that's a true story. That's an inspirational story, especially in these times we're living in now. Somebody needs to see that type of stuff. You know?
And see, my story is about basketball. My story is about basketball. So one thing I would say is, because they told you no, that doesn't mean that it won't happen, right? So just keep pushing. Like the film company that's shooting for me are Africans, right? And we've created a campaign to raise my own money to pay them and shoot. So I'm telling you the same thing, man. Like you have, your book is the ticket. That's the seed. You know what I mean? Somebody is gonna say, I'll give you the money. Or you can get 250 books and sell them at $20 and let that be the foundation for you to go on the road and knock and keep pitching to somebody that will give you the money. You know what I mean? So, man, I want to see that movie on the big screen. I want red carpet. I want to put on a bow tie. You know what I mean? And put on my little Kappa pen. Shout out to the groups.
That stuff has been in my head for years, man.
Let's do it.
You know, let me tell you something else.
We can get Ty in both movies. She can be in both movies, waving her hand with her book.
Hey, look, and I'll handle the press.
You got media, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, full circle, man. Let's get it done. Let's get it done.
Check this out. Just a quick story. You talking about the I've envisioned that red carpet and all that stuff before. And let me tell you how God works. You know, I told you I was in Steve Harvey's Act Like a Success class, and we had the graduation last year in LA. So we got a chance to sit in when he had the daytime TV show. We got a chance to sit in the audience. I did the Hollywood tour. We did the Beverly Hills tour. I actually was standing on the red carpet. So it was almost like God gave me a preview of what's to come later. I actually seen all of that, the Walkers of Fame with all the stars on the ground. I was standing right there last year. You know, so I got a chance to see all that stuff that I had been dreaming about with pre-hand. So I know it's going to come, you know, eventually.
That's dope. Same.
I love it, and I love
Same.
what Peter Parker said. He said, "You planted the seed. It's not the book. The book is the seed." And Drew, you know, I'm a big seed sower. Your harvest gonna come. A plant
Mhm.
don't. When you plant a seed, it don't happen right then. It's a seed
Yeah.
of
Right.
what's to come,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
Right.
and Corey, when you were talking about the vision and the red carpet, God blessed me to go to Tyler Perry's grand opening in 2 days, right? And I
Right.
couldn't keep my
Amazing.
lashes on crying. And everybody was like, "You're crying." I remember I was sitting by CC whining at church. She said,
Right. I saw
she
some
said,
of those
"You know,
pictures. I saw some of those pictures.
she said, it's just so beautiful. I wasn't crying because of how beautiful it was. I was crying because I was there. I couldn't believe I was there.
Yeah.
And I was just saying,
Yeah.
the sign said, God is giving me a preview of what he has in store for me. And God has a sense of humor. He'll give you a glance of what your life is going to be like. Just being in the midst of certain people, you may be the shadow in that building, but you're in the building, you know. And like T.D. Jakes said when he preached that Sunday for Tyler Perry, he said everybody's supposed to be that's in here, whether you waiting on the people, whether you are the staff, you supposed to be here. It's still something in here for you, right? So, you know, I was just thinking about all those things, and this has just been so good for me today. You know, I feel like we've had a little mini
Same.
church, inspirational moment, seminar. Like, I'm all pumped up and I'm excited for not just me, but just for you all. And I just look forward to what God is going to do in your life. All three of you guys have something so much and just so many things in
No.
common.
All four
You
of
could
us.
just be true.
Don't exclude
and me.
yourself. Don't exclude yourself.
Bring
All
that,
four of
bring
us.
me that.
We're 4 Black authors, right? We're 4 Black authors,
Yes.
all from the South. Imagine that. Arthur
Yes.
went to Wake Forest, which is arguably one of the most racist schools in the nation. He survived that. No, just being real. You from Louisiana.
Not just
He's from
survive, but
Birmingham. He get it.
He's in their publication.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, man, kudos to everybody that's on the screen
Everybody.
right now.
Everybody.
So,
Then, Pete,
yeah,
you know,
please don't
you said
exclude
you got
yourself.
your book is about basketball. You know, I played
Yes, sir.
basketball at Jacksonville State in college
Okay,
as well.
and Anderson.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
what I played
I went to Payne College and played basketball. I played in the military as well.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
That's dope. That's dope. So we can do something like that. We can go to 4 colleges right now with 4 different books, have a panel with our Black student body, and let them know what time it is. That's so
Exactly.
easy. What school did you go to, Ty?
My undergrad is Southern University in
Southern.
Baton
All
Rouge,
right.
Louisiana.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Baton
Absolutely.
Rouge.
So there we go, man. We got work to do. I definitely want to keep in contact with both of you guys, man. Please allow me to keep in contact with you. Like I want to meet both of you. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Very inspirational. Do you still coach, Corey, or you still talk to players, or?
Well, you know, my book was about I was one of the players on the team, so it was about my youth football coach. I wasn't actually the coach, but I do speaking, motivational speaking and stuff too, though. So right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get you to have to come out and talk to my basketball team, man. I got 11-year-olds.
Yeah.
So we AAU right now, but you know, once the season starts, whatever works for you works for me. We get a couple of those books and let them start reading that going into that, you know, the new school year. I think that'll be dope. dope.
And I referee. I've been refereeing high school basketball for about 16 years too. So you got basketball players.
Yeah,
I'm an official, you know, so I can teach them a lot about the game, and I played the game, so hey, it's all good.
That's dope.
Wait till the world open back up. Oh my God,
yeah,
we need to start
amazing.
planning now.
I agree.
We just need to start planning. Y'all planting seeds. Let's plan.
I agree.
And then when the world open back up, baby, we have all kind of stuff on the schedule.
Ready to rock.
Let's do it.
Definitely. And this is part of why we like doing this. It's more than just the author sharing their work. As we're all talking, our work as in wearing the author hat is one piece of the puzzle. This isn't one of those 10, 20, 30 piece, puzzle. We're talking about 200, 300. And we do it because we're passionate about what we do. We're passionate about people. It's part of our purpose and things along those lines. And when we say stewardship, outreach, and like Ty said, the last few Sundays have been part conversation, but more sermon. But that's okay because it's being responsive to what is needed at that time. And Pete, we had a great interview this past Wednesday. And
Amazing.
that you dropped today just added to it. Corey,
Thank you.
blessed to have a great interview back in December and being able to add to it. You know, Ty, we talk every so often, but but it's always, and like what Ty said, and I think all of us can say this, part of this is sharing who we are and what we're doing, but it is supporting, it is keeping everybody encouraged, and it's a moment to pause to see what we've been able to do, but then use that as a springboard for what's, you know, around the corner. And I think all of us touch base on those things. Going down the line, and I'll close out, but going down the line, starting with Pete, let people know the best ways that they can stay connected with you, keep you encouraged, and keep you, you know, supported as possible. So go ahead.
All right, yeah. The best way to find me is through Instagram or Twitter. I deactivated my Facebook, but I think I'll get it back eventually. But Pages of Parker on IG. Send me a DM. My email address should be in the bio, but I'll put it in the bio. So if anybody wants to send me an email address, but yeah, Instagram is basically pretty much where you can find me at on social media. They can reach out to yourself. They can get my cell phone number. It doesn't matter, man. If you get in contact with me, it was meant. You did your homework and you found me. So I'll do anything in my power to do anything for you guys.
Okay, Pete, thank you so much. And as always, safe travels, continued blessings with everything that you're working on.
Thank
Corey,
you, man. I appreciate it.
Of the best ways to get connected with you, support you, and help you remain encouraged as well.
Again, Corey McKinney on Facebook and Instagram. Also, Gopher2, GOFOR2. My website is www.gopher2.net. That's GOFOR2.net. And also, my email address is goingfor2@gmail.com. That's GOINGFORTOO@gmail.com. So either one of those avenues work and get in contact with me.
Awesome. And Corey, just like we stressed to Peter, continued blessings with all you're doing. Be safe out there in your travels. Keep doing the work because it's needed. Keep at it.
Right.
Ty, what are the best ways that people can stay connected with you, support you, and also keep you encouraged?
First of all, they just need to purchase my book. Hello. You know, I'm not shy.
Go get that.
Okay. That's how you can support me. I said on my live the other day, you know, you gotta, if you don't believe in your product, who the hell is? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be bold in your gift. And you gotta, if you know that's what you're here for, then you gotta let people know you need to get my book, you need to get my journal. Your kids, I got journal for kids, for all demographics, all colors, all ages. Everybody got something inside here that they need to put down, because the Bible say write the vision and make it plain. That's the only way you can do it. You can't type it, you can't text it, you need to write it. There it is. And that's the secret sauce right there, just being obedient to the word, right? And so that's what these journals do. And so I want you to know that, you know, when it comes to group rates and all that, I have them available. You can reach me at www.fire, F-I-Y-A-H, Teresa Ty, .net, and also I am Fire, F-I-Y-A-H, Teresa Ty, on every social media platform. I encourage you to follow me, and this is something new that I've been saying that I wanted to do when we do these author connections, is that we encourage our followers to follow our peers as well. So where Peter and Corey say, hey, I just did an interview with these two dope authors, I'm going to ask my followers to follow you, and you ask your followers to follow me. And so we have four different audiences, right, that's following three different people that they would have never known, because I don't know your people don't know me, but they're going to know you when this is over. So absolutely. I just encourage, that's how you can support me, and in return I support you as well. So that's all I gotta say, because you kings have just mesmerized me today.
I'll go ahead and wrap us up. And as you heard, you know, I'm here in the loft, and you know, I'm kind of old school, so I had the grandfather clock going, but it's all. I'll go ahead and share my stuff my books real quickly. Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts in Love with Joseph Snorton. This is for you or someone you know who is a lover of poetry, looking at love through broader lenses from family to community, those of us with fraternity and sorority ties, people in your life, no longer in your life, but it's a poetic take based on actual conversation with a long lost family member that I didn't realize existed until 2014 when I got invited to Dr. Maya Angelou's memorial service, and it was addressed to Joseph instead of Andrew. And after being a little bit silly and sarcastic, did the research and found out, hey, there really is somebody by that name. So for you or somebody you know who's a poetry lover and looking at the action of love through broader lenses, and I was very intentional of doing that because some people feel like because they're not experiencing in one realm, something is wrong with them. But before someone decides to do something that's dangerous to themselves or others, take inventory of all these different realms. And in some way, shape, or form, there's something positive that can go on. So that's definitely for you or someone you know who's looking at poetry. 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. It is definitely looking at the adage, all of us are living with something, but some people live with something each and every day. So for people who can identify either directly or indirectly someone living with a physical health challenge, a mental health challenge, life after incarceration, life after a family member passes, people open up and share through the lens of their faith, best practices they use with health and wellness, their support network, formal and informal, as well as changing their way of thinking, how they still live lives of power and purpose. So part of it is having that conversation to be like, again, before you feel like everything really is caving in, take inventory of what other people are living with, and maybe it'll give your challenges a lot more perspective and the fact that you can still do. And whether it's through the lens of your faith, most of the people are of Christianity, but there's one interview of Islamic background and another of Hinduism. Sometimes there's some universalities across faiths. So now if we take time to talk with and listen to, and we think of some of the larger societal challenges, that can be a broader based coalition that can go ahead and better advocate for some of these things that need to happen. And the audiobook series, The Author's Mixtape, available on almost 300 different platforms, is basically taking the freestyle experience of hip hop and doing it in audiobook form. So all the writing and recording was done in the actual individual studio sessions. So yesterday I did the talk focusing on both audiobooks, so you can check that out on the page. The next audiobook will be coming out next month, and later this month, the 3rd book will be out, and it's really chronicling the work I've done covering minor league baseball. So I'm really excited about that. More news will be coming. Got to do a little bit of fine tuning, but it's looking like the end of July, beginning of August for that. And the best way is to stay connected with me on Facebook, the Facebook page, Author Andrew Snorton, Instagram and Twitter at Author A Snorton. You can go on YouTube, Author A Snorton, and check out the playlist ranging from the television show that I do, The Conversation Corner, which is viewable on Status Network. And as an aside, gentlemen, when you're talking about film, Status has a film channel, so whenever that film's ready, you can bring it over here and get, exposure. But those are the main things. So as we wind this down, ladies and gentlemen, to the viewers out there, we do a little bit of everything on All About the Authors. It is part talking about great authors doing great work with their books, but especially today and even in previous editions, wearing the author hat is just one thing that we do. A lot of us are doing work in nonprofits or stewardship, outreach, groundbreaking with what we're doing professionally in arts and entertainment or education or what have you. Again, as you've heard, in case you didn't get the memo, don't let this be the only time you connect with the people that you have seen today. This might have been the first time for some of y'all, but it better not be the last time. Seriously, please support and encourage everybody that we've had previously, everybody that we've had today, everyone that we're going to have 2 weeks from now, as we do this every second and fourth Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. I know today was great, as it always is, a little bit of that Southern flavor from Alabama,
Oh yeah.
and Louisiana, and then the transplant here, Jersey, now here in Metro Atlanta,
The transplant.
sprinkling a little something. But to everybody who's on here, thank you for taking and making the time. I appreciate it, and I learned
So do
something
I.
new. And I know for our viewers out there, they appreciate it. Y'all
That's right.
stay encouraged. No, I'll close out on this. Always remember who you are and whose you are. And I think y'all can read between the lines on that. So just remember who you are and whose you are, and know that you are needed in whatever space and place you are. You are needed because someone needs to hear from you today. And someone needs to hear from you in the future.
And thank you guys for allowing us to come on. I appreciate that. I appreciate meeting you guys, Pete, Ty.
Likewise.
If I can just do one little thing, well, this is actually a copy of my book, Coach Daryl's Coach books right here. And also, I've just finished my second book, which is called Foster Dad. It's going through the editing processing right now. It's just a story about the 8 years I spent as a foster parent. So, and I got number 3 that I'm outlining and working on right now. So that's just a little sneak peek into some future things.
That's
Congrats.
awesome.
Great. Shameless plug since we showing books.
Oh yeah,
How we drop it. Let's go. Appreciate
Yes,
you,
bro.
Corey. Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for that assist. I totally forgot I had one in my car until I saw you. Like, I got one too. So thank you again. I'm encouraged. That worked very quick. I was
Thank y'all,
encouraged
man.
to show
We
the book.
appreciate the time.
So thank
and
you.
we appreciate what y'all doing too, man. We love it. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Corey and Pete, we know y'all up the street from each other, so we're looking forward to what collabs that you're able to do.
Oh, mandatory.
And we here. We've been here. We ain't going nowhere. We here.
Mandatory. Absolutely.
we're going. Only place we're going is up. So just come on with us.
That's it.
That's right.
Hey,
That's
what
right.
better way to end it with that one, man? We going up, man. We going up.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much again. It's been amazing. We're gonna close out. Much love, many prayers. Be safe out there. Be smart, and just follow your fire. It'll take you right exactly where you need to be. And thank you again so much. Make sure when you share this, you tag all your friends and put our social media handle, and we'll do the same.
All right.
Have a great Sunday.
Okay,
You as
y'all
well. Be safe.
blessed. You take
Love.
really good care.
All right. Take care, y'all.
All right. You just finished watching All About the Authors. Make sure to add All About the Authors 520 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And make sure to check us out. We'll see you.